Messages can be powerful things, can't they? Fair enough, please bring milk isn't that powerful, but it got the job done. But sometimes messages can be very powerful. And I'll give you a really easy illustration, an everyday illustration of that. There's a message that goes on inside us, I think, or a talk, or thoughts and ideas that go on inside us, probably all of us, almost every day. And we call those messages worry, or anxiety. I wonder if you worry. Actually, I wonder if there's anyone in this room who doesn't worry, because I think we all do. And worry is a little conversation that you have inside, a message that goes around and around inside you. You might have one right now that is not a good one, right? Because you are thinking, what is the worst that could happen? And you actually are thinking about the worst that could happen to you this coming week, for example. Let me ask you this question. Does worry, does that conversation, does that message inside your head, does it affect you? Yes, it does. It does, absolutely, doesn't it? It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel nervous. It makes you feel sad. It's not just something that it sort of sits there and has no impact on you. You probably find that your eating is affected and your sleeping is affected because you're worried. And you'll probably find that you can't speak as freely as you might, or even think as well as you might, because you're worried about something. So thoughts and ideas and messages can be very powerful like that, can't they? They run around in our minds, don't they, like wild animals. But here's a good example of a good message that might motivate you. It's not quite time for this yet, but every time you hear these words, dinner time, that's a good message, isn't it? That's an encouraging message. You perk up, you race down the stairs, whatever. It motivates you in a good way. That's good news. And that's instruction. Come for dinner, but it's also inspiration. There's something good on the table. Now, the gospel feeds good things into our hearts and minds, doesn't it? It brings to our hearts and minds a truth, the truth, which is a word that Paul often uses here, and deep ideas, God ideas, if you like, that we so desperately need. We've spoken of this before, haven't we? Using the phrase that Paul loves to use, another phrase that he loves to use, sound doctrine. That sounds very dusty, doesn't it? It sounds very kind of dull and dusty, but actually it's healthy teaching. Healthy teaching, which is what we get in 1 Timothy, what we hope to transmit to you here every Sunday and in other ways. We want healthy teaching so that we can have healthy minds and hearts. Healthy church, healthy relationships, healthy teaching. And that is what the gospel brings to us, more than any other message in the world. And of course, that's why we need to hold on to it so tenaciously, don't we? We must never let go of the gospel that Jesus is the only way of salvation, the only way to God. There could be no other way. Given who he is, given what he put himself through, he must be the only way of salvation. We must never give that up. We must never give all of these fundamentals up. This is really why Paul describes the church as the pillar and foundation of the truth, of the gospel truth. Pillars and foundations. What do they do? Well, we've got some pillars here. There's one behind you over there. Foundations, pillars, they hold things up, don't they? They hold things up. It's the job of the church to hold up, in a kind of presentation way, I suppose, to ourselves and to the outside world. We hold up the truth of the gospel. Here's the truth of Jesus. Here's the truth of the gospel. Like a pillar. There were great pillars, I understand, in the temple of Diana in Ephesus, where Timothy was living, that sort of displayed images of the goddess Diana in Ephesus. So maybe that's in his mind. We want to hold up the gospel, don't we? To ourselves and to everyone as far as we can, so all can see it clearly.